Beautiful people. I am trying to do something very different that I have not done, and I'm hoping that within this next 30 minutes or less, I'm doing video as well as my podcast, and I'm trying to really learn all the intricate details on how to multitask with what I'm trying to produce and manage and brand myself at the same time. This is a lot of work. However, I believe in excellence and I believe in researching and finding out what is the best ways to help brand yourself in, rather it's on social media, you're doing a YouTube, you're doing a podcast, and really trying to meet the needs of the audience that you're trying to capture. Now, for me, I am a perfectionist, but the more I try to make sure everything is together, I find myself delaying the process of actually executing and implementing what it is that I am trying to deliver in my message. So, if I haven't told you, welcome. Welcome to Atara Estes, Making a Mark. I am really a community extraordinaire about the community. I'm about the community all day, every day, and I'm really mindful of the times that we are in community care. But before you can really get in what is happening alone in the community and getting over and saturated by all the things that are happening worldwide, I want us to turn around and make sure that we're not neglecting ourselves, neglecting those who are in the household with us for all of the things that are happening outside of our homes. Um, this pandemic has been an eye opener for so many reasons, and I have to say that I have not been okay. I'm going to be very well transparent because I come from a history of trauma and having past experiences can see how things have escalated or re-traumatized or have become a burnout because you're trying to stay on top of your A game, trying to be self-sufficient, trying to be resourceful in the things that um, you know that is out of hand, out of control. And I'm trying to really make sure that I'm navigating and coordinating with those who actually have the excess of need, not just for myself, but for the community that I serve as a community health worker. So it's one thing to be located in a city like St. Louis, and then you're hearing the same message in other cities, um, and it becomes a bonfire of conversation. You're just sitting around and everyone is sharing the same disbelief of where we are right now in our world today. So I'm kind of like it heavily involved to where as I'm missing staying engaged with um, you all, not intentionally like that, but I think because I'm trying to be a perfectionist, so where I'm having everything together, where my video would give all of these bullet points and it have all the little PowerPoint characteristics and all of these things on my podcast to kind of give you the non-feedback that I continue to get on my audio at times, and I'm really not trying to have unprofessional video or audio. I'm just now just going to say heck with it and just do it because within time it will be improved and I will be able to look back on these segments, episodes, and say at least I faced it and I developed and I became better within time. I mean, years ago when I started my podcast, I was very creative in the content and bring in very informative information that you all can take away and apply it. And I'm back in trying to get all of what I have within me for where I sit at and what I do and what I mastered in the area of public health. Um, Seeing that our community is facing a lot more health disparities, lack of access to resources, to whereas people have almost no hope in what has elevated in our society with the pandemic. And this past holiday, we're finding a spike in the pandemic of the coronavirus, as well as the gun violence that has really taken off in leaps and bounds in our community. More innocent people are dying by the second. More domestic violent cases are skyrocketing by the second. Child abuse or any other abuse or violence that are happening has taken another uptick. And because I am an advocate of one of my most sincerest advocacy of raising awareness on domestic violence, it hits me differently. And it might not be my job profession that I do, but I can never leave that platform alone. And reason being is because my experience has allowed me to do life-changing shifts in order to get to the healing place where I'm at. And that just three right now, I mean, it can be a whole lot more. My life changes came about because of the choices, the chances, and the changes that I had to make. And not in any particular order. Just letting you know that your choices makes a difference. You having the chance to make a difference, and the changes that come with it, because we do have a choice in whether we stay or go or get well or stay sick and deal with whatever may be happening in your life. So I'm just really looking at and you can argue with me all day long. I'm hoping that you don't, but if you can receive what I'm saying, that when we are left looking like we don't have choices, you've made a choice if you're not even moving. So I'm definitely in a moving season of myself, and not trying to wait for me to get all of my equipment to be soundproof and to a certain level of expertise that I am used to having, but because I am limited on my equipment, I have to use what I have. So you go back to appreciating just the simple things. Keep it simple, and hoping that what you are sharing, that people will actually feel what you are saying, and want to even apply some of the things that you have shared to themselves, just to try and say, if it works for you, let me try it. I don't have any magic potions. I have dedication to my change. I have to create discipline towards my change. I have to move myself from an uncomfortable situation, stretch myself beyond my comfort zone. These type of things is what helps me to be elevated onto a platform that has gone beyond what I could even ask or think, actually. So I am just a rebel, and I'm radical. I'm radical in a lot of spaces and places that, because it becomes very personal transformation for me. The transition to go from being fearful for your life, for fighting for your life, is something that I'm gonna say that God given me this internal intuition to have strength. And strength isn't always, with your physical abilities to lift things, but I think the strength that comes with the endurance of patience, perseverance, long suffering, those things has a strength to it, a strength component. When things look like all hope is gone and nothing is turning out right, even with the choices that you've made, and the endurance to still believe that somewhere, somehow, it has to change. And that becomes a hope that I think that we as human beings do have, even when we feel like we want to throw in the towel. And for those individuals who may be at that line of all hope is gone, what is this about life? I want to share with you there is hope at the end of your storm. As you're going through the tornadoes, the tsunami, this pandemic is a tsunami because it is hitting everyone and no one is exempt. I don't care what amount of money that you have, it is not getting rid of this pandemic. If you're not trying to practice safety precautions as social distancing has been implemented, as well as wearing your mask for safety. I mean, I don't think that it takes someone in the high government or any public health official or even myself to come and tell you to be safe and what is going to require for you to be safe and stay safe. And I kind of question, and it's just my opinion, but I'm going to address this. If you feel very strongly about not taking safety precautions, how safe or how sound are you about living? We can't walk around being scared, but you have to walk around with what is given to us is common sense. Am I coming against those who feel like I don't need to wear a mask and I don't need to social distance myself? I think it comes with the lack of responsibility that we all have to play our part and do our part. And I think that because people have a choice, you get the results that you get because of the choices that you make. So if you choose not to, I'm just going to say for those who choose not to wear a face mask or social distance at a time of need, to where you're at, when I say social distance, it's knowing that you may be in a crowd of people, but you're not just being rebellious to the whole fact like, yeah, it may be out here, but it's not going to get me. If you out and about in the public, you're bound to find out that you may have a coronavirus. Somewhere along the line, you're going to come in contact with the infection or the virus. This virus is a catch-22, and if you get it and you're not experiencing any symptoms, does not mean that you're not going to contaminate the next person. I am tossing and turning with a lot of things that are happening when it comes to people want to blame a particular group of people when we all are accountable and have a responsibility. It doesn't matter if you see a group of young people who are just living their best life and doing whatever it is. And it doesn't matter if you see a group of older men and women who figure, I don't live my life, so I don't care nothing about all of this. If I'm going to die, I'm going to die, because I definitely have heard it on both spectrums, the young generation and the older generation. And guess what? It is a choice. It's a choice. But does that mean to be irresponsible with your choices? Because guess what? There is a cause and effect to any choice that we are making. And by that, I am here to let those individuals know, and I'm off of the face mask and in the social distance. I'm using that to compare to those who have lost hope due to turmoil, loss of job, illnesses. Don't have nothing to do with coronavirus, but you are already facing illnesses in your daily life, and you're feeling like, when am I going to be healed? When am I going to get a job to where I can take care of my family? When is all of the struggle going to end? Well, newsflash, you're going to always have struggles. You're going to always have the ups and downs on whether you are hired, fired, laid off. We all face all uncertainties to where it comes to our health, when it comes to the finances, when it comes to just keeping a well-balanced mind. We all are going to experience these things in our lifetime. So as long as you're still living in the land of the living, and I had just posted on my Instagram page, by the way, if I haven't told you already, and I should have said this at the beginning, but I'm just having a conversation with you all. So understand that if you are listening to my podcast or you're watching from my YouTube, please follow, subscribe, like, and if you're feeling even extra inspired by what is being said, share it with others. I'm really at a different place right about now that I'm going to remove all of my controlling ways of trying to make sure everything is of excellence, and just kind of I will come with more structure, because I am more structured now with what I'm trying to share, but I'm too much a perfectionist to where I don't even get started. So I don't want to do that to myself, and I don't want to do that to anyone who is able to listen and be inspired and empowered by this type of platform that I'm able to present. So with that, if you have lost your job and you're looking for a job, I'm going to let you know I'm going to be praying for you. I'm going to be praying that you come up with different creative ideas. I pray every day for our world today that this virus would get, they will find a cure, they will find a control to managing it. I would love to see that we all begin to do our part and what that looks like, and make sure that our children that are surrounding us are safe, because our children are dying in huge, massive numbers. Our children are not even able to see themselves grow to be our age. And if that, it is just so hard to keep seeing young people dying out here from not due to anything of their own, but senseless violence, gun violence that are happening all around us, because people have gone mad, really have gone mad out here. And by me being a community health worker, I cry. I really do cry for things that has gone so terribly wrong, to see a mother, see the father, see the relatives that been impacted by the loss of a loved one, and especially children. It's just so disheartening to me. But I will say this: don't let it be in vain. If they have died to a senseless crime, please don't let it be in vain. Please find yourself at a place where you have healed beyond a shadow of a doubt, but raise awareness to what has happened to your loved one. That's what I've taken the liberty to do, because I am alive and well today, but 18 years ago, almost didn't make it to see 18 years later. And I thank God each and every day that I'm able to survive of a horrific ordeal. But if that does not resonate with you on gratitude of life, then you need to find something that you value. I don't know what that is, but I value my life I'm not ready to go anytime soon. I want to see my loved ones, but I know that that's not promised us because we're here loaned to one another. We are loaned. So I want to take all of what I am able to do around my loved ones, love on them, tell them I love them, forgive them for any nonsense that is going on. And understand that's a choice. I'm telling you once again, there's a lot of dysfunction that's happening, a lot of divisions that are happening with families today, and people find it really hard to forgive and let go and not know how to communicate the differences that it's your right to have a difference of opinion, but you're letting them take your energy when you just want to control the situation at hand and not heal from whatever has happened, whoever offended you. Um, Healing is not for them, it's actually for you. So, what does that look like? Do you want to harp on what that person did? And I'm not saying harp like it's a bad thing, but when you dwell on it, it creates depression. And depression comes to stop your life. It doesn't allow you to move forward because you're stuck. And I know about those things. Being stuck in your past, you will never be present and you will never have a fulfilling future. Depression really snuffs the present from you. Depression is not ever a place that I want to find myself playing with. And anyone who's experiencing depression understands something. There is professional help out here, especially if you can't find yourself moving forward and getting up and living for in the now. Looking back to things that has happened has created me to look at it as lessons learned. I had to learn all this, so this is not something that has happened overnight. This is something that I had to learn in order to change the narrative of what was happening to me. Past trauma can hurt you. It comes to steal your present. It comes to destroy your future. You can't live like that with what is happening in our day-to-day. Whatever it is that you're going through, please do not let the past hurt go unhealed. Heal yourself with professional help or find ways to move forward in what that looks like. If you need to talk to someone, find a professional therapist. Seek professional care. There is resources out here. I will leave information on my website. Please visit my main website, ataraestes.com. ataraestes.com. On my website, I leave resources for the community. It doesn't matter. I have national numbers. I have local numbers for my St. Louis, Missouri area to actually provide all of the necessary access of care for you. If it's not on there, then you can inbox me and ask me, can you give me a valid number that I can contact to help me with my particular crisis? And I will make myself available to do just that. If you can't find it on my website, I try to make sure my website is up to date on resources for the community. So it doesn't matter where you are. If you cannot find it and you need it and you're trusting everything that I'm saying to you, I will begin to add people to a group site that will be able to have shared information on, and it's called Making a Mark Empowerment Group. This empowerment group doesn't allow me to talk to you all, but it does allow you to text, ask questions, and receive empowering messages. It is not a long response thing. I would just want to encourage you all, and you can encourage one another and to share it out. This is to uplift one another, and this is for me to be engaging with you all, to let you all know from whatever platform, whatever work that I'm doing, that you're able to be in contact and be supportive. And while I'm talking about support, as we change into our next level, I am actually excited to say that I reopened my boutique. my boutique, Eroticy Boutique, is a women's clothing store. Deals with active wear, deals with everyday wear, deals with weddings, special events, just so you can feel beautiful as a woman. You know, since we're not really out and about, I'm sure that some of the things that I have on my website has actually quality. To say activewear is where I'm at right now, because I do a lot of fitness, of health and wellness. And while I'm doing that, I actually want to be able to put on a challenge for you all who want to stay fit throughout this time that you may be working from home or get off from your job, and you just need some upliftment, and you want me, as you want to be uplifted, you want to exercise. So maybe we can get on that challenge together, and challenge drinking enough water, eating the right foods, or whatever that is. I want to be able to connect to real people doing real things and on real time. So it's not just, recorded on my Facebook or YouTube. And those platforms are great. I'm going to use them all. But my other platform that I'm going to be sharing is going to be on real time, that those messages coming from whoever, from wherever. You can be in Jamaica, you can be in Spain, you can be in Europe. I don't care. If you feel the need that this empowerment group is what you're needing, I say join us. I'm going to be sending out information on how to join and be a part of the real-time platform, so where we can just communicate and uplift and be excited on changing our lives, making a mark to whatever that is. This movement is about you. And if you have changed and made the necessary changes to commit and dedicate and find yourself being refreshed, guess what? Your friends, your families are going to see that, and they're going to want to know, how can I get that same refreshing? You need a restart. You need a recharge. That's what this about me is all about. Where I used to come from, where it's all negative and dysfunctional, and not saying that it's all perfect and cleaned, but what I say is I definitely dedicate myself to keeping positive things in my view, in my area, in my ear gate, what's going in my ears, what I'm watching. I would love to be able to share those different things with you all, and you all get a chance to share what works for you. It is all about us coming together as community care, but it's an individual project. So I like the idea, and my shirt today is Alive and Well. For those who was trying to figure out what shirt do I have on, it is Alive and Well. And that's an organization that I work for, that we have empowerment workshops to inform the community about toxic stress, which there can be good stress, and then there can be toxic stress, and what does that look like. And I'm going to be having workshops not develop, but actually I'm going to be presenting workshops in the coming month of August. I was going to do it for this month of July, but however, I started my summer courses, and it has become a little bit more overwhelming for me to be back in school and trying to manage that, and trying to make sure I'm on top of my work, because I'm taking a couple of classes, and I'm almost done with my degree. So this is about change. I made the choice to go back, and this is taking a chance. And the change that's going to come is going to help me to actually stand up and stand out and be promoted to another level, or enhance my businesses that I have created. So I want you all to think about what you're doing, and let's do it together. Let's set some goals for ourselves. Let's reach high. Let's reach further than where we are. With me going back to school, I have to pay for it. So follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And when you follow me on there, you can say, hey, Atara, I'm following you because you're making a mark, and I want to make that mark with you. I will follow you back. It's not about me just following me. It's not about me holding the information that I have just for myself. I want to be able to share it with you. I want to be able to help you all kind of stand up and stand out in your own path, your own goals. And that's what we're going to be aiming for. with some other things I'm going to add to the mission so I can be very clear on what is going to take place. So I appreciate the time that you have given me. I appreciate the just listening. And if you're still listening and you haven't subscribed and you haven't liked, if you haven't followed Atara Estes, please do so. I am working on my actual next book. It's going to be an e-course and an e-workbook. And as I'm working on that, I'm looking forward to having you all to share what you think about it. If you have not read my first book, my survivor book on domestic violence, is called Damaged Goods: My Journey, please go on Amazon and put in my name, Atara Estes, and leave a review. We can develop off of that, and we can go further. After I shared everything that has happened with me, I am really ready to actually execute in a whole different way in this life, because trouble don't last always. It really doesn't. But I don't want to, hold you any longer than what I have already done, because I'm planning to come back and I'm going to figure out some other things. Maybe I just change my atmosphere and kind of record out and about, because I haven't been outside too much too often, but I think I need to get out and be around nature. But guess what? The grass don't like me, so I'm trying to be mindful of my allergies. So anyway, I think that we have a good foundation on what I want to do and how I want to make sure that you all are informed, engaged, and elevated in your own right. I will be bringing business opportunities to you all who are looking for extra income and wanting to figure out how to enhance what you already have or get an income. There will be other ways that I can definitely show you and guide you in, and I'm hoping that I can learn from you. It's not about you just learning from me, but I want to learn from you. But I'm going to show you how to do certain things that I think will help you along the way. So as we learning from one another, I'm definitely going to show you how to make the best choices for your life, the chances that you can be given, which we all have chances and we do have choices, but the changes that comes with it is phenomenal. It's not overnight, because those things are a process, but the change will come. So it's just staying focused on what that looks like and how do you do that. Put your plan in motion. If you've written it down, you can put it in motion, because you can always go back and check it and see, am I on track, or do I need to revise it so I can make this very tangible transition to be beneficial to myself and those that I come in contact with. So once again, if you have not throughout this video have subscribed, if you have not liked, if you have not followed, please do so. Please follow. You can email me as well at ataracebookings@gmail.com. Please visit my website at ataraestes.com. There are some workshops on there that you can get enrolled in that we can host on Zoom. But there is a platform that I will be presenting a workshop for the month of August to get you all trauma informed, and we will be focusing on more self-care. And I truly believe in self-care, and I truly believe in it. Self-care is the best care. I put it like that, because you can't pour from an empty cup. And I think a lot of us who are in the healthcare profession, we really need to get back and focus on our self-care so we don't burn out in the work that we're doing. At this point in time, I think for those who are in the healthcare field, first responders, we're doing more work than we've ever done from the time we've probably been in this profession. And it's a great time to be hands-on with our community. So I'm honoring and I'm saluting you all as well for being heavily involved in being a first responder and helping our community to lived through all of this, and we are witnessing history. We are a part of history right now. So I don't think I have forgotten anything, and if I did, it would be on the next video. That's in the next audio, and that's just how it is. It's just gonna grow from there. So I want to thank you for tuning in with Atara Estes of Making a Mark, and that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna make a mark. And if you are interested in being a part of my advocacy outreach for domestic violence, you can follow me on Facebook for Sound the Alarm Outreach. If that is a platform that's more private, it's a private group helping victims, survivors to heal through domestic violence. I cater in that area personally. So if you're needing more of a focal point of focus of support, then you can go to Sound the Alarm Outreach on my Facebook page, and you can inbox me and inquire in that aspect. But for anything else that's pertaining to community health worker sector, criminal justice involved, community health workers, workforce profession, trauma informed, all of my other businesses, Esther's Worldwide Travel, Erotica Boutique. What else do I have? The list goes on. I can't, because I wasn't on here to really promote all of my businesses. I really was focused on letting you all know that don't hinder yourself for trying to be a perfectionist. Use what's in your hand and let the exposure of what your intentions are speak for itself. And I'm not here to be a perfectionist. I'm here to give you information and make you aware that you have a right to heal through anything that has come to try to hinder you. No one has a right to take that from you. But even if you are still in the midst of it, trouble cannot last always. I want you to be good to yourself and to one another. Hear me. Be good to yourself and to one another. Until next time, I want you all to keep me in your prayers. Keep me lifted, because school is kicking my butt. But I can do all things, and you can too. So be blessed.